still going well? We have another awesome On the Runs classic for you to listen to. We hope you're going to enjoy Erin Azar on the On the Runs podcast.
Have you ever heard of the term bike bitch?
No. I like it, though.
We had someone on who told us he put the term in Urban Dictionary, and a bike bitch is the guy who rides his bike next to you as you run and takes your social media. And I was like, I wonder
love that.
Yeah, it's like this Dan might be her bike bitch or her run bitch. He was in the back of a truck someone was in the back of a pickup truck.
Yes.
So.
Well, that was the Runner's World photographer, Trevor. Dan was driving the truck, though.
I watched that video, and that guy was getting in some stuff to get photos of you.
He was in it. I'm like, Dan, take
dedication
notes.
to the craft.
This is, yeah. I notice sometimes you guys like do your own thing, and then the guest comes in, and then
so you listened?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Yes.
I also need to know. Well, we could start, and then I'll.
Sounds good.
Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do a little intro for you. Here we go. I'm gonna try not to screw it up on the first time, but it's the only thing I will sometimes reread.
I think you should screw it up.
He's good at that. We love you.
Our next guest on the pod is a runner that many of us know well, and a few of our listeners and past guests ran into her during the Boston Marathon. She posts her running videos on social media while training for marathons, sharing her outfit of the day, doing funny dances, and making it all fun. She's a mother of 3, the co-host of Non-Members Only. She's raised tens of thousands of dollars for the Michael J. Fox Foundation, and we're super excited to have her on the pod and hear all her stories. Erin.
You got so close.
See, this has to stay in now.
I had so much confidence rolling in. Erin Azar, a.k.a. I am Mrs. Space Cadet. Welcome to the On the Runs podcast. How are you?
Thank you. I mean, full disclosure, I did tell you to screw it up. I did tell you to screw up the intro. So you were only following instructions.
He absolutely nailed it. Oh my God. Erin, this is so cool to have you on. You're already so chill. Like I have to say I'm fangirling a little bit because I do watch all your social media posts. So I'm kind of like trying to hold it together. So I hope it's working. But let me just tell the listeners. So we put our names in for all these things, and Erin is currently pee poo poo doo doo. So I immediately love her.
That is that's my legal name. I put it in. So I actually didn't type that in today. We use Riverside to record our Non-Members Only podcast, and so I've just been I put it in once, and then I guess it just continues to use that name unless you change it back. So I was using that to log in for Mike and I to record. And
John, you mean John?
It's John now.
Sorry, we changed his name to John. Yeah, before we started recording, we changed his name to John. So the first day that I did that and typed in not Erin, I'm like, no, I'm putting in pee pee poo poo doo doo. Something happened, like we had a huge technical glitch to the point where Michael Motorcycle, aka John, had to call support, and they had him in this like online chat, and they were like, okay, I need to know the name as it appears and like what this little number that goes with it. He had to put pee pee poo poo doo doo. I'm like, what are the odds the first time I do that is when he needs to put in, it's like Mike and then like 7-1 blah 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 and then pee pee poo poo doo doo.
It's absolutely incredible. I'm obsessed. So
yeah, I'm leaving it. Yeah,
you have to now. It's like a staple.
I love it.
Right.
Oh, so fun.
I love it. Wow. So you have multiple names now, not just Erin, but you're Erin and you're pee pee poo poo doo doo. Mike is now John, and you have Dan. Dan's the only name we got right.
Right. Yeah, you did get it right. And in my phone, I have since changed this because I think it's like in case of an emergency, you should not have their name something funny. But Dan's name in my phone used to be Sharp Fartington McShittle III. And I'm sorry.
Yes,
Can we say that?
Oh, yeah.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay.
But oh my God.
Okay.
No, I'm just laughing because that's fantastic.
And so I, being me, lost my phone in Target one day. and I was going to be late to pick up our daughter from school. So I just had to leave. Like my phone was there, I think, unless someone took it. And so I was like frantic. Dan ended up going to this Target to like search for my phone. He calls it and oh wait, how did this happen? Oh, some girls answered it, giggling, like hysterically. And he was like, "What the heck? This is not funny. Like my wife lost her phone. This is our like livelihood. You know what I mean?" And he kind of like played it cool. He didn't want them to feel bad that they were laughing, but he just didn't understand like what was so funny about it. And then finally they meet in the store. They're like, "Oh, it was left on a shelf." And he looks at it and realizes, like, oh, that's right. My name in here is Sharp Farting to McShoal the Third. That is really funny, especially to like these teenage girls that found the phone.
And also 37-year-old me. So that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's funny. So I forget what I have it in now, but I also have like husband. So it, like if something happens, they know like this is who we should call.
Smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smart. Ice, husband, pee pee poo poo doo doo. I love it. We're off to a great start. So
yeah,
let's talk about how we connected. You were in Boston for the Boston Marathon. We were there. We weren't anywhere near each other.
You did move down to mile 19 at one point, didn't you? We were like right down the road at that, but we never found each other.
Yeah, I was moving along the route for sure, which was not easy, but we did it.
Yeah, we stuck to one spot, but we had so many friends who ran in the race and who they all saw you, and they told us later when we were recording like a little recap. They're like, "Oh, we saw Erin. Erin was there, and you were in there with Lindsay, and there was a bunch of Millennium Running people. Maurice the panda
he was the purple,
there.
Purple.
I got a selfie with him.
Super cool.
Yeah.
He's a super cool dude. So you were in Boston. How was that?
It was so fun. I've been to Boston like maybe a few times before since, this running thing picked up. And I love Boston. Like if I had to live in a city, which would be very difficult for me, but if I had to live in a city, I think it would be Boston. Yeah, I love everything about it. But so I was actually there this past time to support my friend and manager Regan, who she was actually at the year it was the bombing happened. She wasn't running. Yeah, she wasn't running, but she was at the site and got injured and like is, working through all that trauma and everything. But she had not been back to Boston at all, like for Boston Marathon weekend since that. So 10 years. And long story short, I was going to run it and I was like, and so I convinced her to do it. And I was like, oh, actually, wait, I shouldn't run it because then I can't run with you. Like you're too fast. She has very long legs. She runs, I think, a pretty swift mile. And so I was like, why don't I just cheer you on? So she ended up running it. She did awesome. We supported her from the sidelines and had like little cheer sections for her. And I cried. I probably a liter of tears. It was a lot. I cried at like happy, just everything. Happy tears, but like super emotional.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you were just, is she like local to you? Because where are you from?
Pennsylvania. So I'm like, I always say not the Pittsburgh side. Closer to Philadelphia.
You're next to corn. That's all I know. There's a lot of corn where you're at.
Pittsburgh is so far from us. Yeah, corn and cow. I'm from Corn and Cows, Pennsylvania. And so the other, she's actually in London, but she's from New Hampshire.
Oh, wow.
But she's like based out of London now. Yeah. And so the other highlight that I wanted to say, which was unexpected, but was definitely a highlight, was because of where she was or what's that called? Where you start
corrals?
The group that
the
you started?
corrals.
Corral. So because of where her corral was, where she started, that pack of people, you see them repeatedly if you go to multiple stops. She was in that group that I relate to and that they relate to me. So they see my videos. And so I'm standing there waiting for Regan and I start to hear all of these like, oh my God, Mrs. Space Cadet. And I was like, oh my God, hi. Like, it was like one, and then like two, and then like a group. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Like, this is so exciting that they're seeing me and we can like interact. And then people started to come off of the course and be like, can I get a selfie? I was like, oh my gosh, please. Like, then I started doing interpretive dances with people. And it was like, it turned into this whole like all day party for me, because if you can imagine like having hundreds of like best friends running in a race and you're seeing all of them and they're like getting to interact with you the whole time. It was the highlight of my day, aside from seeing Regan finish that race. Like, it was so cool.
I have to say,
Still one of my favorite videos I've ever made, by the way, is that because Mike was filming the whole time and he caught all those interactions. It was crazy.
I'm just so jealous we missed you, because that would have been really, really fun, because I would have been the same exact way as all the other ones. But so I remember seeing that video and I was like, oh my God, this looks like my friend. She had like the yellow sparkly skirt on. I'm like, oh my God, that looks like Lindsay.
Oh, love
and then
that.
Keep watching, and then we see our friend Maurice. I'm like, holy shit, like this is like real things, like people we actually know. So
Yeah.
I wound up sending it to them. They were like, I know him in a video, and they were so excited. So you are genuine hype woman. Like, I'm sure that was like, that would have been the highlight of my day if I was running Boston. And that's running Boston.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to top that. So it's up there.
Right. That's, I don't know if I deserve that, but thank you.
Do. You totally do.
Well, I got to thank them all for stopping and talking to you and getting the pictures and getting in your reel, because that is really kind of how this happened. And I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? We're gonna shoot our shot here and try to talk to Erin. Everyone loves you. Everyone absolutely loves you. So this is so cool.
I'm glad that you did though reach out. Full disclosure, I say no, and I don't want this to come off like weird, but I do say no to a lot of podcasts only because when I first started this, I said yes to everything because I was so excited, and I'm not good at time management. So what happens is these are happening like a month down the line. You know how it is. You guys scheduled me out like pretty far, and you have guests lined up, and so you're down the road. Well, all of a sudden, it is now down the road, and I agreed to like 10 podcasts in a week, and it's like, what am I gonna do? I have to get my work done while the kids are in school and like all this stuff. So, but I mean, obviously I still do them, but I was excited about this one, because we had that tie to like, you guys knew all these people that I got to interact with in Boston. You guys also had, Maurice on the podcast before, like, love him. And just listening. So I like would go through and listen to some episodes. I'm like, oh, this is not going to be a podcast interview. This is like fun with other, running friends. And so I'm like, I'm going to do it because I knew it would put me in a good mood for the day.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that.
That's how you should pitch it. That's how you guys should pitch your podcast.
Honestly, that's how he does. He says it's like old friends sitting around a campfire having like a beer or something. We just we're just shooting the shit. We're just talking, and like that's what we want it to be. Like, this shouldn't have to be like work.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be work. So, yay.
Plus when you interview, say you would do the typical interview with someone like that's been interviewed before, like everyone knows the story, or a lot of people do. Like, you guys get more different content from the people, so that's
what we want. We want like
the
juice.
I already marked the clip. You're my new promo. I marked the clip.
I love it.
All right, Erin, let's just jump right in. So let's just get to know you a little bit better. We know that where you're from, at least, but let's get into how you started your running journey.
Yeah, I actually, so running has been kind of like an off and on thing with me. But the first experience started in elementary school, and we have to do that freaking gym class mile, which was like horrific. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was a very active kid, I would like to say. Like, I, as a girl, a lot of the girls in gym class couldn't really do pull-ups. And I was always like ripping out like 10 to 12 pull-ups. I have no idea why.
I'm impressed. I couldn't do that.
Yeah. So I was an active kid, but I could not run a mile. Like, for some reason, that was just, I couldn't do it. And then, I dabbled in sports in like junior high and high school because my friends were doing it. I don't know if I ever really enjoyed it, but like I've played soccer, I tried field hockey, and I found that running was punishment. So not in my mind, like they made it like that because it's like if you were late to practice, you ran. If you were talking too much, you ran. If you lost a game that you should have won, you ran. And I was like, okay, this is something that truly is horrible, so much so that they're using it to punish us.
No, I totally agree.
And
It's
so like
true. It's so true as kids. You're
yeah.
right.
Yeah. So I had like this negative connotation about running. And then, in my 20s, I think I like drank too much alcohol and ate too much pizza and just like didn't really take care of myself.
I still eat too much pizza.
Well, for some people it's a good thing. I have stomach issues, so it's not good. But so, I would like gain weight once I had like this desk job. And so I was uncomfortable and not feeling healthy. So what do you do if you don't have money for like a gym membership and all that? You just try and run. And it just would never last. Like I tried couch to 5K. I would get like the shin splints and all this stuff. It wouldn't last longer than a week. I would try and work up to like run these races that my friends were doing. And every time it was just such a horrible experience. So anyway, fast forward like 8 years later, I had my third baby and I was so sleep deprived. I feel like a lot of these feelings come from sleep deprivation, honestly, like as a new mom. And that can turn into like postpartum depression and all that stuff. So I'm just sitting in the chair. I have no idea what I weighed, but I could just tell it like did not feel like my body at all. And I was just so tired and I felt like this sensation that my blood in my body was literally not moving. Like I was just, I don't know, like I felt stale. Like I was just gonna forever be in that chair unless like I got up and like moved my body. It was a nice day out and I just said to Dan, I was like, I am gonna lose it. Like if I don't get out and just walk or something. And so I put on like I didn't have any running clothes. My shoes had holes in them. I had a nursing bra on. I didn't have a sports bra. My shorts were like from Target 5 years ago. Anyway, it was not the best running outfit, but something did tell me to pick up the camera. This was like before I filmed. I wasn't like putting, running videos or
before
stuff like
YouTube,
that.
or you were doing YouTube at one point.
This is where YouTube started. The running on YouTube started. Was this first video. And I remember I was like, I'm not going to put this online because knowing myself, I'm definitely not going to stick with it. But I thought if I do, and I do run for like a month, I want to look at this video and see like, okay, keep going because in this video you looked really sad and really unhealthy. And now you're feeling a little better. So like, I just thought it would kind of be a contrast that would motivate me to keep going. And something on that run, like it did make me feel a little better. I'm like, you know what? I'm posting this and I'm going to commit and make it, have it help me get through 30 days. I'm like, I'm going to run a mile for 30 days. After that, I was like, I'm going to run a marathon, having no idea what that entailed, by the way. I knew it was like, I'm like, if I train for like a whole year, give myself an entire year, the reason I didn't do a 5K is I thought I could just struggle, like flop myself through a 5K. Marathon, I knew I could not skip a run. I could not slack off. I just didn't know the full extent of marathon training.
Yeah, that takes some real dedication. So you got to like hunker down and be like,
Yeah.
okay, this is happening. Which one was your first?
The first one was virtual. It was supposed to be the Philadelphia Marathon, but it was shortly after I started running, like I guess maybe 6 months after as COVID hit. And then so everything was canceled. So I ran that with my coach, Coach Alicia, and Dan actually ran that with me.
That's amazing.
And fun fact is Dan never has a hard time with
Really?
anything. I
He's
hate
one of
it. I
those?
hate
Oh,
it. I hate
okay.
it.
It's
He
because
just
Dan's the man.
right, he is. Just this year, just this summer actually, he saw a windsurfer and he's like, that looks pretty cool. I might want to try that. And now he's like just freaking windsurfs. Like, what are you
The damn
how?
effortless people.
You
I'm
know?
so jealous of people who can just like
Effortless.
wing it.
Oh my God. So all these, runs leading up to that, he was fine. 10 miles, 15 miles, whatever. Meanwhile, I would get back and be incapacitated and just pouring sweat. And the first time I heard him say, wow, this sucks, is at like mile 20 of the marathon.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't like you. I did revel in his chafing though. Like afterward, he was like, "Oh my God." I'm like, I love that. I love that for you. Meanwhile, I'm dying too, but
But at least
yeah.
you weren't alone. That's the important part. so.
Right. Right. But then, so after that, I was like, because we couldn't even have family and friends there. There was no crowd,
Mhm.
obviously. And I'm like, I want that experience. So I signed up the following year for New Jersey Marathon. That got canceled. Got an opportunity to run New York City Marathon. That's where I raised money for Michael J. Fox Foundation and ran that. And then I was like, oh, this was like a really cool experience. I want to do Chicago. So that's the one that I recently ran.
That's so
November.
much fun. I want to say that
Yeah.
your New York City like kind of series, like training for that, is where I first discovered you, and you are just relatable with all of your running posts. Like you have your team struggle run. Is that like where that whole thing started? You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I really came up with that. I guess that phrase when when I started posting these videos on TikTok and they went viral. I think like it must have been within the first couple weeks of me posting run videos on there. They just started going viral. And the comments on there were all like, why don't more people show this? This is how I run. Like I thought
It's
I was
real.
the only one.
It's real stuff.
Excuse me. And so I was like, wait, this isn't just a me thing. Everyone out there. And as I went on with this, started meeting like professional runners that were following me, and they're like, I relate. And I'm like, no, you don't. And they're like, yeah, I do, And so I was like, wait, so we are kind of like this big collective group of people that, everyone has a struggle run. So, so Team Struggle Run is kind of like we're all in it together. We're all getting through it. And we still do it. It's not like, oh, just because we struggle, I'm not going to do it. It's a fun struggle. You can make it fun.
Can I tell you how I found you? This is fun because
Please.
I didn't know who you are when we started this podcast. And this was kind of like my brainchild, as Erica calls it. And I say, Erica, send me running pictures. Send me pictures of your run. And so she'd send me pictures and say, post this one. And they would always be in this weird position. And I'm like, what are you doing? She goes,
oh my God.
It's my outfit of the day, Mrs. Space Cadet pose. And I'm like,
yeah.
Who's Mrs. Space Cadet? She goes, just tag her. Tag her. And then I looked you up and I'm like, oh, and Erica keeps sending me these photos of her in this look before a race. Send this one, tag it or something in the story. And I'm like,
yeah.
Start watching, scrolling. When you just get like into TikTok or Instagram.
Oh,
I'm an
hole,
Instagram guy. I was in the I am Mrs. Space Cadet rabbit hole. I'm like all the way through. I'm like, she's so cool. And then at the time, you continued to grow and blow up, and you're going and do these cool things like hang out with those track and field athletes, which was honestly like it looked like a blast. I didn't think that was. How did that happen?
Yeah, everything. I must say that everything that's happened to me along this journey is so unexpected, and like I actually had to get counseling because after the New York City Marathon, when I was on the Today Show and like all that other press, I was like, I said to the person, I was like, I don't know what's real and what's not, and I wasn't joking, like because someone like me, I'm a mom of 3. I live in the middle of nowhere. Like I thought I was too old for social media, like all this stuff that was all in my head. And now I'm on the Today Show. Like something's not adding up. And it did actually mess with me a little bit. So, Yeah, I forget what the question was, why I led into that.
Oh, I think I was just saying, like, how did everything come to be? It was more about the
Oh,
track
the
and
track
field
and
athletes,
field.
but
Yes. So that was like you know, let in from the New York Times. I always say Talia Mintzberg, who did that first article for the New York Times. That's why the first Today Show happened. And then that is why the second Today Show happened. And it was like this snowball of like People Magazine and Ryan Seacrest. And I was like, she doesn't take credit, but Talia, you do. And so all this stuff would just like happen. And that's another example, this USATF thing. I commented on one of their posts, they were showing like a road race or whatever. And I was like, can I come and be a water girl? I didn't understand how like athletes get there. I thought it was like football. You run out and you squirt the water in their mouths and then you run back. And so they actually DM'd me and were like, hey, we saw your comment. We'd actually love to have you, come to, I forget what the first one was. I think it was like the New York City 5K, the road race or something. Had a great time, was sweating like crazy just talking to these athletes. I've never interviewed anyone.
That would be me.
Before.
I'd be like, oh my God, look at who I'm talking to. This is insane.
Right. I held the finish line tape, which was like a huge fear of mine because I saw that video where the girl just drops it, goes to pick it up, and gets slammed by the runner.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so ever since then I like had this huge fear. I held the finish line tape and just slowly got like after each thing that I would do with them, I kind of got hit it off like with some of the athletes, which was so weird to me because I'm like, I'm the opposite of you. But I think they like found that entertaining in a way. Like they're always interviewed by somebody who really knows the sport and who really looks the part and who was probably, a professional runner or athlete in the past. And here I am. I have no clue what I'm talking about, and I'm just like blasting on the scene, doing interpretive dances with Craig Azar, I call him, his Instagram name. But yeah, so that's how the USATF thing started happening. And then from there, it was like, why don't we do this series where you try the sports?
which was awesome.
Yeah. So it's been really fun, very unexpected, but I just roll with it.
I think the athletes, it was like fresh air. They had someone new who they maybe they knew you, maybe they didn't, but you asked different questions. You didn't go to school for this. Like I'm thinking those media people were either, former athletes or they went to school for this.
Yeah,
and this
like
is what
journalism.
It's their professionalism and not, that's awesome. And they have a job to do. So the athletes will answer them and be a part of it. But you then come in there and you're just you, and they're like, oh, this is fun. It seemed like you guys all got along. You became best friends. They all like petitioned for you to go to Budapest.
Right.
I just watched the one of the long jump. I was in the car at the chiropractor's office this morning, and I was like, oh, this long jump one. I couldn't even jump that far. And he's like, what's his name? Maurice? Or no?
Yeah.
It was Maurice.
Marquise Dendy.
Marquise Dendy.
Yeah.
And he drew the line, and then he made you do it for real, and you almost didn't even make the sand, and you're like, I got scared.
I was really scary because I was like full send, and then I'm in the air and realizing I might actually not make it to the sand, and it's gonna hurt if I, land on this asphalt.
I love that whole concept though. Like the whole, like, let's see a normal person try to do this. Like, what? Yeah. Like you were doing the shot put, you were doing javelin at one point. Like, there's no freaking way a normal person can go out and do what these Olympians do. They're just so amazing and obviously have honed their craft. But just seeing like a regular person doing that's my dream. Like, it's just so much fun to see.
And, the overall concept I feel like is so helpful because when somebody doesn't follow track and field or even like swimming, for example, when I watch, I'll use swimming. When I watch an Olympic swimmer, I have no idea why they are fast, how how fast they really are. Like, because they're only competing against
Fast
people that are the same level of fast. So, like, I would love to see even an animation. Like, I get for like insurance and liability reasons, they couldn't have like me in the pool. But map, a normal person doing the laps and then show an animation of where they would be. How, they're all done and I'm still on my first lap. Like, I think that would be really entertaining for the Olympics.
I agree. It just shows how incredible these athletes actually are, to see what the difference between regular and superhuman. Let's call it that.
It's highlighting how superhuman they are.
Absolutely love it.
That reminds me, like years ago, I think this was when we were in college, Erica, they did Michael Phelps was going to race a shark.
Race a shark?
And they remember they advertised this and everyone's like, oh, I remember going to watch and thinking he's going to actually race a shark. I'm thinking the shark will be in a pool and there'll be a divider.
With him.
I was so disappointed. It was a virtual shark.
Oh, man.
Okay.
The concept is great, though.
What you're saying is I have to actually be in the pool with the Olympic swimmers. I guess that's just what we got to do.
Bummer, Erin.
NBC Sports.
I volunteer you as tribute. I do.
Yes. That would be so funny.
I volunteer to be your swim bitch for that.
I like that. Yeah, because I need a bike bitch, a swim bitch. Yes.
Todd's going to love that we brought this up to you, because you hadn't heard of the term bike bitch before. So that's officially, that's going to be your husband, right? Dan, you have a new job.
Oh, wait. Yeah, Dan, now you have multiple jobs on top of your multiple jobs.
You could send him the Urban Dictionary definition of bike bitch. That would be fun.
Yes.
Let's talk about one of your friends in Cornencal, Pennsylvania, and I believe their name is Stop Sign.
Yeah, the turnaround stop sign. Sometimes my friend, sometimes my foe. That is where, when I talked earlier about running a mile a day for 30 days, that stop sign was exactly where I would turn around to reach a mile, like back to my house. So it was half a mile, and I would be glad to see it a lot of the times, because I'm like, now I get to turn around, because that first mile, when you start running, even now, that first mile is like brutal. But I would see it and be like, oh, thank goodness I can turn around. Well, when I started to venture past a mile, like after those 30 days, I looked at it and it's like, it's saying turn around, and I'm like, no, you don't tell me what to do. Like, you don't tell me to stop. So I would talk to this thing, like, I'm not doing it. I'm going right past you. And so that's the turnaround stop sign. Still there to this day.
You have some cheerleaders out there in the fields too, right?
Yeah, I have my cheer squad, which is just 3 trees in a little group in a field. And they just look like they're cheering for me along my route. So, I wave hi to them every time.
This is how you get through runs. Like, you do whatever it takes to get through your runs.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, everybody is struggling. And if you have to fabricate some cheer squads, you do what you got to do to finish.
Yeah, I mean, it's filming in itself and sharing these videos is entertainment a lot of the time for me, because I don't run with people. Like, a lot of the times I can't run with Dan because one of us has to watch the kids. So it's, me running solo. And when I'm filming a video, I really feel like the people watching are already there. So I'm like, oh, look at this. And, it's very entertaining for me before I even put the video out and read comments. I already feel like we're there together and I'm not by myself.
I have a super relatable reel that I want you to talk about. So one of my favorites of yours, which it's honestly so relatable. It's the reel about everything that went wrong on a long run. So do you want to talk about that at all?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we were actually at the shore. Oh man, I'm having flashbacks.
Did I just give you PTSD?
So
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, if you have little kids and you travel, a lot of times they just don't sleep. And so our plan was to wake up at 5 for that run because it was very hot. And I was up like all night with our youngest. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even think I went to sleep. And now I have to run, I think 14 miles or something like that. And so it started off with a bang, like that's just great. Not sleeping. We had my bike bitch had a setup where attached to the bike was a trailer, like one of those trailers you pull kids in. And it had all our hydration, the little gel packs, and everything like that. We start on our way. I forgot to start my watch.
That is the
There
worst.
we go again.
I think I did that on one of our runs that we did recently, and like then he did it too. We switched off, and I'm just like, we need to like
Last
just
Wednesday at Run
say
Walk
it out
Brew.
loud. We need to just all right, here we go, and because so frustrating.
I was so angry already, and then that happened. I'm like, just pure rage. And so then we kind of get, I think maybe halfway, we start to have issues. Like I have to go poop, and we find this bathroom, and then I can't poop. I don't know why. I know I usually don't have that problem, but and then
we're here for that. We're here for that story.
right. And then so Dan had to go too. Of course, every effortless man. He's just fine, right? So then we start to head back, and Dan was like, I'm going to veer off here and get this cool shot, like through these trees or something. And I keep running, and I'm like, man, he's been gone a long time. He catches back up to me. His leg is pouring blood. I'm like, okay, well, this is so on brand for Dan. He gets injured everywhere. In the most inconvenient places, like on the beach in Puerto Rico, steps on something, goes in his foot, gets infected, like have to go to this random doctor. Like it is pure Dan. And so it's to the point where I'm like, you might even need stitches. What happened was like part of the bike, I don't know if he slid out and then like this part of the bike like went into his leg or whatever it was. I don't know. Don't get too graphic. Pee pee poo poo doo doo. And
There are no details.
Okay, so anyway, it's like he's starting to feel a little like woozy because it's like a lot of blood, and we're like, so he gets on the bike. We make it to this like market. There's all these like old people, very well off. Getting their morning croissants. I don't even know what they eat. But there's Dan with like blood pouring down his leg, waiting in line to get Band-Aids and like rubbing alcohol or whatever he put on there. So he like bandages himself up. We continue on the run. It was just one of those things that it was like, what next? Because at this point, I don't even care anymore. I don't like nothing will surprise me. So yeah, that was where that reel came from.
Oh man. Yeah, you just going through like, I forgot my hat, I forgot this, like I stopped doing this, and oh my God.
Just ridiculous. Yeah.
So last Thanksgiving was the first time Erica and I decided, it was the year one of the pod, let's go run a turkey trot. And let's talk about it on the podcast before and see if we can get anyone to show up. Well, one person showed up, so we called it our first official on the runs, like get together group run. And that person was Lindsay, who was the one who met you at the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I found out that you have a story about why one should never run a turkey in a turkey trot, or why one should never wear a costume in a turkey trot.
Yes. Word from the unwise. I thought a turkey trot is where everybody dresses up as a turkey and they do the race, like the 5K or whatever. So I, was really on the ball. I ordered my turkey costume. I got a turkey hat for Dan. And I was like, we are so prepared. We got our registration. I put my turkey costume on. We walk over to like pick up our bibs. No one else is wearing a turkey costume. And I'm like, well, they probably just don't have it on yet because they're going to get their bibs and then they're going to pin it on their costume and put it on or whatever. And we line up. Still, really nobody has. I mean, some people have like turkey socks Or I think I saw like another person kind of like in a turkey-esque thing. Lots of people had turkey hats on. So Dan, of course, effortless man, fits right in. And so I'm like, well, whatever, I'm having fun. Got my little picture for Instagram and like, I'm just going to run it. What's the big deal? I would say like a mile in, this was very hilly in my defense. But what, even if it wasn't hilly, like a mile in, I was so hot. Like I thought I might get heat stroke if I keep running in this thing. I don't know how it heated up so fast, but it was like an oven in there, like a sauna. I had it like fully unzipped. I'm like trying to air myself out. It was horrible. I was just drenched head to toe in sweat. And when I finished that, I was like, this is why all these people have just shorts and tank tops on and maybe a little turkey little turkey decoration, pizzazz. Don't do it unless you live in like Alaska or something. I don't know, where it's really cold.
I got to piggyback.
Yeah, up in Nova Scotia. Or...
Yeah.
I got to piggyback off this costume thing because another thing that I love, your mascot race that you did as a slice of pizza.
Oh, yeah.
How did you get roped into that?
That was another one where I was just like, you know what? Everything is real. Everything is real. Just go with it and have fun. And so the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, that's a beautiful stadium in Lehigh Valley. I was never there before. And I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of this. Bring Dan. I brought my sister and her friend, and we'll go see the ball game. Like a good old American night or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I don't do sports. So I thought it would just be like a good experience. And they were like, oh, also, we do this halftime, or it's not a halftime, whatever.
Like a mid-inning thing, or like a in-between innings?
Like in between innings.
In between inning thing where all of since they're the Iron Pigs, there's like all the pork products. There's these huge costumes. They do this race. Yeah, the pork race. And they were like, it would be really fun, like if you wanted to run in it. It's just real short and the audience loves it. So of course I'm like, I'm not gonna pass that up. But the only problem was they took all the pork cost. I'm like, there's a hot dog, there's the ham bone, there's I forget what other.
Wasn't there like a sandwich
things?
A pulled pork sandwich?
Yeah. Pulled pork sandwich. So I'm like, what else? I need something with pork. So I Googled, common foods with pork. One of them is technically pepperoni has some pork in it, which I didn't know. I just thought there was like a pepperoni animal that you get pepperoni from. I don't know. Anyway, so I got that costume and did the race. It was so funny. There were like these Irish dancers that were also performing while we were running. So we like just decided to start, Irish dancing, which distracted us so that Hot Diggity, or no, I think it's just called Diggity, the hot dog, distracted us and ran ahead. And I'm like, I'm going to beat this hot dog. Like I got so into it. I didn't win, but
that was like a photo finish.
It was real close. Yeah.
It was close.
Diggity, you son of a bitch. I'm coming for you.
Yeah. I'm going to have redemption.
You'll have to challenge him to a rematch one day.
I think so.
I was wondering about that because I was like, do you just normally travel to games with a slice of pizza costume or were you prepared? So yeah, they let you know.
Right. I was prepared, and they that's just one of those examples of like just stuff coming out of the woodworks, and I'm like, but why not?
I love that you just roll with things. Like you're so easygoing. So I love it. You're wonderful.
Yeah, it was fun.
So in my research, I did something I don't always do, is I reached out to a couple of our friends, Tara and Lindsay, again, because they helped us. I said, girls, the two of you were huge in helping us get this, and they don't even know it. We just did a podcast and it worked. So I said, are there a couple things you want me to ask? And they didn't really ask questions. They just said, ask her about hills don't care about your feelings. And I know nothing about this. So what is hills don't care about your feelings?
Yeah. So where I live in Corn and
Cow, Pennsylvania.
Corn and Cow, Pennsylvania. There are a lot of hills. So no matter how you plan your route, you have to go up an enormous hill at some point in it. If you're running long, like further than I would say 1 mile. So from the beginning, I was running up these hills. I would get really upset about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. How am I going to run a race if I just, these hills just knock me out and my lungs are burning. I feel like I'm going to puke. And eventually I kind of had to like shift my mindset to how I talk to the turnaround stop sign. Like, no, screw you. You're not going to tell me what to do. And I thought, like, these hills, I'm here struggling, like, woe is me. They don't care. It's just that they're a hill and they're doing their own thing. And so that's where that came from. Like, they don't care about my feelings. They don't care that I'm struggling. So I'm not going to care about them. And yeah, that's where hills don't care about your feelings came from. And of course, me being me had to turn it into a song, like, hills don't care about your feelings.
Is all that natural when you're talking to the camera? Is all that natural? You just kind of come up with it, and you're one shot and done, right?
Yeah, one shot and done. And my bike bitch Dan, like, he knows that more than anyone, because he'll say like, "Oh, I didn't get that. Can you say it again?" I'm like, "No, I honestly can't. Like, I'm not. It's not going to be natural then." So yeah.
We're getting to know the true Erin on the run.
Right. And when I went for a run with the Runner's World magazine, the journalist that did the article, and she said, I think in the article actually, the Erin that you see in the videos is the real Erin or something along those lines. And that was very validating to me because I have this thing in my head, like major imposter syndrome, like always second guess myself. I'm like, to me, yes, this is how I am. And I know, like, I'm filming this video. This is what I would say in real life. But to have someone like that validate it, I'm like, all right, solid. I'm doing a good job because I don't want to be different. I feel like that takes too much energy. And I mean, like, friends that I have, since high school, or people that I wasn't even close with that maybe saw something of me, shared it on Facebook, and they'll write like, this is how I remember her. Like, this is, yeah. So it's very comforting to know, like, okay, it's not just in my head. I am just.
You're true to yourself.
Yes, true to myself.
Well, let us validate you too, because it just encourages everybody else to. Who gives a shit what other people think? Just be you, be weird, be spectacular. Just do you. There's no pressure to be anybody else.
Right. If I cared what other people thought, I don't think I would have ever posted like any of these videos because, as someone who runs, like a 13-minute mile, that's not exciting to put out there, especially when I like first started this and I was, I thought to myself, there was like this inkling of thought where I'm like, well, I don't need to show my watch. And I immediately was shut that down. I'm like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because
1.02 miles overachiever.
Right. And so I'm like, no, I do want to share my pace and share it proudly because I am running and I want like other people that might run that pace be like, oh, good. Yeah, I'm proud of that too. I don't want to like hide that because, user 15602 is going to be like, oh, I could walk faster than that. I don't care. Go walk 26.2 miles at a 13-minute per mile pace and we can be buddies.
Everybody's going to do you. Just do you.
Yeah.
Those haters always have one of those names with like 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 8, 9.
Right. Private account. You can't even like talk shit on their stuff because it's all private.
This is totally unrelated. I even sent this to Steve, Erica. And this is so true about social media. So I like Twitter just for information, Erin. And this is something I'll cut out.
Well, correction, X.
I hate that. I hate it.
Right. I don't know. I don't.
I
Does not
hate it
have a good
too.
ring to it. Like, what the hell?
Do you wait?
No.
So when you instead of retweeting, are you re-Xing? What are you re-Xing?
Right. Did Muskie Boy think this through? Because I don't think
No.
so.
Definitely not. Let's keep going.
So I used to work in NASCAR, so I have a lot of friends in NASCAR, and I still go once a year, and I talk to
What did
people
you
in the
do for
sport.
NASCAR?
I was on a pit crew. I was the jack man. We changed tires really fast.
No way.
Yeah. And I only got run over once.
Did you really?
Yeah. I joke when Erica and I like run in the street or like are crossing illegally jaywalking. I go, "Don't worry, I used to do this as a professional. I only got hit once in a real race, a couple times in practice." No, I got run over at Martinsville, which is in Virginia. My own driver ran me over, and I broke my foot, my wrist, my
He got
fingers, tore the
wrecked.
ligaments. I had a concussion.
Oh my God.
But like a true hockey player, I got back up and finished the pit stop. And I pulled the tire out because one of my jobs I had to pull the tire, and the tire just dropped because my wrist was broken. So,
that is an insane story. Your whole podcast should be about that. What are you talking to me for? Like, that's crazy.
I joke. I say I'm so mad. We were running like dog shit that day. We were like 35th, 3 laps down, and when you're running laps down, you can't pit with the leaders, and so the TV shows the leaders pit, then they go to commercial. So there's no video footage of me getting run over.
That was my follow-up question. Did you get it on video?
I had friends who worked for the Speed Channel, and I'm like, "Can you find this video?" And they look, and they're like, "No, we don't have it."
Oh,
you guys are running 35th.
I can't believe nobody else, like even from his own crew, like I can't believe nobody caught that.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, they saw it, but my crew's doing the pit stop.
What I mean,
my friend's wife was in the stands, and she's like, the reaction from the crowd was just like everyone going, "Oh,
oh, jeez."
And they said I was like 10 feet in the air because I jumped on the hood, and when I hit the windshield, it launched me, and I landed on the back. It was the truck series. I landed on the back of the truck, and the spoiler made it look like I had a bunch of old stab wounds.
Oh,
so
wow.
That was it. I finished the year and I was broke and came back home. But so the tweet, this all goes back to the tweet, and this is so true about social media.
But is that why you don't do pit crew anymore? Because you got hit by the truck?
No, I finished the season, and I came home for Christmas, and I thought I was in a lot of debt. I was like $4,000 of debt, right? Which isn't a lot now that I'm thinking about it. I got a job offer and I took it, and I was like, I'm going to go back to NASCAR in July and go again and move back to North Carolina. And the job I got, I still have today, 12 years later.
Oh, wow. Which is podcasting.
Yeah, well, maybe
he's pretty professional at it.
Maybe.
The University of YouTube has been good to him.
Yeah, I got a degree from YouTube. But this tweet was, social media is amazing because you can post a picture of David Rudiman, which is like a NASCAR driver who won one race, eating a bowl of soup, and the replies turn into two guys MFing each other over an argument of whether Chase Elliott, most popular driver in NASCAR, should be allowed to snowboard.
Yeah. What is with that, honestly?
And then he goes, "Why would you ever leave?"
Yeah, that is so true. Like, okay, maybe a tweet is like pretty good, but I race to the comments, like on any post, not just X.
So you love the comments.
I'm here for the drama.
Yeah.
I love drama. I hate getting into it myself, but it's so like juicy just getting into reading
Erica's
shit.
like the popcorn meme, the guy eating the popcorn.
Not even
Oh,
kidding.
yeah,
I'm here for it as long as I'm not involved.
Yeah. Do you fall into the rabbit holes then? Because you'll see something and you're like, wait, where did this start? What happened? And then
we have this Facebook group. It's called Bad Ultra Running Advice, and like that's a shit show of a group. Like it is just the most random shit pops up, and I could just read comments. Like if somebody posts something like the group disagrees on, I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna get roasted, and I'm just like scroll, like he did a bad thing. So I can get sucked in, and it's a time suck. But yeah, if I got nothing better to do,
you know what? It happens to the best of us.
Yes, it does.
every year so I'm a big Boston Bruins fan. Every year when we lose, we've only won
Oops.
once in my life, the whole thing. I have to shut down social media.
Is
I have
that
to shut it
football?
down. Hockey.
I think you
Oh,
just
okay,
like
hockey.
stabbed him
Yeah.
a little. Like
You should do like a pork race in an ice rink. Like there's a Lehigh Valley
yeah.
minor league hockey team.
I would
Would
do
be
that.
A lot of fun.
I don't putting me on ice skates of
No,
any kind or
you typically are in sneakers, and it's more fun to watch someone trying to run
Oh.
on ice. You're like running
All
really
right.
fast and going
Just-
nowhere.
and you're not going
just
anywhere.
make sure you're
just
not
sliding
make
out.
sure you're not training for anything, because like the odds of getting hurt on ice are just like way elevated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Erin, so most of your videos have a beautiful interpretive dance within it. So what was the whole thought behind those? Like, how were you a dancer
Yeah.
or something growing up? Like, they're just so majestic and, and beautiful. So
Yeah.
what's your inspiration?
You know, when I was younger, I was like in dance, but that was, decades ago. So I'm not like I'm gonna dance type of person, like look at my skills or anything, obviously. But my brain, I don't know if you guys have ADHD, but my brain I could be running, talking, filming, but also another part of my brain up here is like, just start dancing. And then call it something. And then this other part of my brain is like, do this every time you run, or like, summarize your run. And there's all these little whirly thoughts up here. And I don't think them through ever. And I just see what happens. So I was probably the first time I did it, I probably had like a really difficult run. And my therapy is laugh at yourself.
Mhm.
So to do that, I was like, okay, if I was an interpretive dancer, like how would this run play out? And like how you like, they hold their chest and they're like, then they cave in and then do some little steppy steps. And yeah, so that made me feel better after I did that. And I'm like, I'm going to do that more. So sometimes I still bust out some interpretive dances.
I like it because
I think everyone should try
you
it.
get the feeling behind. You could see when you're having an angry run, you're just like, and you could just feel the frustration behind it. And then you have a better run and it's more flowy. And so
and happy and like,
it translates. I like it.
Yeah.
Erica, the week this drops, I'm going to need you to do your own interpretive dance
I'll
for
do,
us. We'll
I'll do some interpretive dance.
A hint for next week's episode, and it will be.
And
Erica
then I'll
doing
stand in my outfit of the day.
Well, why does it just have to be Erica? I officially challenge both of you to do an interpretive dance.
I know exactly what I'm going to do.
You can't plan it now. You
got
to do it in the moment, man. Like, come on.
Do it in the what your feelings.
No, believe me, I've already thought of this. I've already thought
mine will be spur of the
How are we
moment.
going to tease it?
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Erica's is going to come. She's going to
From
be in
the
her
heart.
feels, and yes, I like it.
Tell me, let's change topics a little bit. Tell me about non-members only.
Yeah. So non-members only. It's so interesting how Mike and I like got connected because if we go way back, this was when I kind of first maybe grew my audience, at least on TikTok. I think at this point I was only on TikTok, and Mike's girlfriend Sam followed me. He did not follow me, did not know who I was, but he is the creator of the Pizza Pocket hoodie. It's a hoodie with a pizza on it, a zipper pouch.
You stole my Instagram photo question.
Oh, sorry.
That's awesome.
It's
You
okay.
literally
Go.
put a slice of pizza in there, like you could hold a slice.
Yeah, it has an insulated pouch, a triangle that has a magnetic closure that you can put an actual slice of pizza in and store it in your pouch. So she was like, we should give this to Erin. Like, she's the perfect creator, like, to gift this to. And he was like, yeah, okay, get her size and just like give her one. Well, her uncle has a house on Long Beach Island where we have our family has a house that we all share there too. And so she was like, hey, this was during COVID, by the way. So we were very paranoid
You were
about
breaking the rules.
Yes. And we actually were so scared that we're like, we have to do it outside and we have to be like separate, from each other. Yeah, I didn't want to like chance anything.
Right.
We knew nothing about anything, how it was like transmitted.
That was
or
scary
whatever.
time.
So we were like both holed up in our individual houses, and it was raining that day and we still refused to go inside. Anyway, so she gave me this hoodie. It was so great. Like I filmed a video with it, I think. And then down the line she was like, hey, if you guys want to hang out, like, my boyfriend Mike would love to meet you and whatever. And I'm like, I would love to meet the person that thought to make this and then actually made it. So once we started chatting, it was me, Sam, Dan, and Mike. And Sam, and Dan were kind of chatting, but Mike and I were just like boom, 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 like riffing off each other, and like all the topics that either one of us would bring up that were kind of random, the other one like instantly was like, oh yeah, and then and we kind of like kept going, and every time we hung out, it was like that. And I don't know if someone else suggested it, that like you guys should just record yourselves because it's like a podcast. And we're like, why don't we just try that? Like, why not get a couple microphones and just sit and record something? And we ended up having so much fun with it that, I mean, we're still doing it. I think we're going to record our 100th episode.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
It's so nice. I know from
Congratulations.
experience that when you find someone
Yeah.
that you just gel with and have so much fun
Yeah.
with, it just makes it's not work. It's just fun.
It's not. Yes. I mean, there's like work behind the scenes, obviously, but like the actual recording of it is always so
Mhm.
fun. I like crack up so like through the whole podcast, like just hilarious conversations. We never know where they're going to go. And I liken it to, sometimes I want to hang out with people, friends, but I don't actually want to go through the work of contacting them, setting up a time, us all going somewhere. What if I'm not feeling it at the moment, but you already made the obligation? So this is like having that sitting with friends feeling when you could just be driving in your car or whatever,
Mhm.
and you're just vibing on random stuff. I mean, it is like running related in a way, because like I do talk about my running, but that's not, the main thing.
No, you do so many other things too. Like the
Yeah.
one that first pops to my head, and I related because I'm kind of the same. When he asked you like, what do you think Harry Potter is? And he asked you movies and stuff like, what's Harry Potter? And you're guessing what it is, and you have no clue, and you're totally off. And I would have been the same way.
Oh, you're like that too?
I knew a little more than you, only because my brother and sister were addicted to it. But like,
Right.
it just was so fun listening to you try to guess what it was. And I've never
Yeah.
watched a Harry Potter movie, never read the book. My daughter's
How are
into
we
it, so I know a
friends?
little bit.
Yeah, honestly, I get a lot of
College
like
Tell me,
parties,
do you
that's
like
how.
Twilight at all? Am I alone on that too? Damn it.
he
No
did
clue.
asked me about Twilight too.
Damn it,
I thought I
damn it.
was dead on with that, and I forget what I said. I think zombies.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Vampires,
All I know is
werewolves,
vampires.
sparkles.
I would have guessed Sparkles.
He's a sparkly vampire. Team Edward.
Would have never guessed.
Never mind.
Yeah.
And that's right, 'cause everyone was like Team Edward or Team something.
Jacob.
There were three.
Oh,
And-
see,
and the
here we go.
girl-
I'm showing my true
wait,
colors.
The girl never smiles either,
Bella?
right? Like she's
She's kind of.
in real life. She
Oh
never-
yeah, Kristen Stewart. It's
The
Kristen
actress.
Stewart.
yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I
She
see.
has,
I
like,
don't
the
know.
resting bitch face.
See, I'm usually the odd man out on this one, and like everyone else knows it. So you know what? This is making me feel a little.
You know what I'm
validated that you don't
picturing?
either.
Did you ever see the meme? It's from like It's Always Sunny, where you have Charlie and he's like pointing to the board behind him, all like crazy eyed. I'm like, this
Yes,
is me,
yeah,
like
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to describe Twilight to you guys. So you can insert that meme there.
It's too much. It's
I
too much.
I try. So I got the Disney Plus package now because kids, And I'm
Yes.
trying to get through the whole Marvel series in the correct order and everything. And Eric and I were talking about how I'm falling in love with these badass superhero women. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden Instagram and Facebook's like sending me promoted videos of these women or whatever. And it's one time it's like, who do you prefer? Gal Gadot and I'm like, just because we talked about these women dressed up as Wonder Woman.
Your
and
phone is
Captain
always
Marvel
listening.
and-
Your phone is always listening.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
getting targeted ads now. But he showed me, and I was like, well, those ads don't suck. I mean, it's just two gorgeous
I
women.
am-
Like, whatever.
Right.
Currently, I am in love with Gamora, who is Guardians of the Galaxy in the green. She's her skin color is
Zoe
green. That's all- I don't know
Saldana.
where she's from.
Okay.
Thank you. I got a story about
Wow,
her later
you know
for you too.
names.
That's the shit
Not
that
me.
sticks in my head. I don't remember any like history or like math or
Okay.
it's just like the crap.
Yeah, yeah.
Song lyrics from NSYNC, basically. That's all that sticks in my head.
Yeah.
Let's stick with the theme here of movies. And one movie I love and do know everything about: Back to the Future and Michael J. Fox. And where I'm really going is you donated tens of thousands of dollars to the Michael J. Fox Foundation, which is
Mhm.
Parkinson's, right?
Yeah, Parkinson's. They 100% of the proceeds that get donated to Michael J. Fox Foundation go to like research and testing and all that stuff. Because like there are foundations where they have to pay admin
Mhm.
fees and all that, so it kind of gets a little washy. But yeah, so my dad has Parkinson's. He got diagnosed probably like, I don't know, I want to say maybe 15 years ago or 15 to 20. I mean, sorry, 10 to 15 years ago. And it's a really difficult disease to watch like progress. And when I got the opportunity to run New York City Marathon with Team Fox, that's 100% why I did it. Because I was like, listen, this means if I run this, I have a whole month less of training to run this marathon. Like there were so many things stacked against it why I wasn't going to do it. And then they were like, but it's for Team Fox. And I was like, okay, even if I have to walk, I'm going to do it.
Sold.
Like, yeah. So once I posted about that, I think we raised like $20,000 in one day.
That's amazing.
And yeah, the comments on those posts were like either I have Parkinson's or my mom has Parkinson's or I know so and so with Parkinson's. Like it touches so many people's lives. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going full steam ahead with this. Like, because sometimes you can put yourself in a little box and think this is not common, or like I don't know anyone else in my real life with it, so therefore not a lot of other people are dealing with it. But once you do something like that and you see like thousands of comments on every post, so that was like one of the highlights of this, and everything that I've done is being able to raise that much money for that cause.
You are amazing.
Social media is a powerful thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is just incredible. That is going to help so many
Yeah.
people in the research. So be proud.
Yes. And for anyone listening, even if you don't have Parkinson's or a relative with Parkinson's, if you go online and just you could just search like Parkinson's PPMI study, you can actually just go on and answer really simple questions, and that is super helpful to all the research that they're doing. You don't have to go anywhere or like pay anything or do anything. It's just like a simple questionnaire just to get more participants in the study.
Awesome.
I will find that and I will put it in the show notes for you.
Thank you. Yes.
Absolutely. All right. So we have two final big questions we do, and you stole mine because it was
I have one instead. I have one to replace it.
Well, I do too. I figured
Go ahead.
I on the spot, I'm like, I'm going to ask her something. So my random question, or my big last question, is I go creeping through your Instagram and I find a picture and I asked for the story, and it was going to be about the pizza hoodie and how you got a pizza hoodie. And so that's cool. That's actually how you met Mike. So that's a great story.
Yes.
That's really awesome. But one of my favorite stories of all time on the pod, 70 episodes now, was we had this girl, Amanda, tell us about her first date with her husband and how they met. So I want to know, what is the love story between you and Dan? How did you meet Dan? You can give us a first date story or just something funny that comes to mind about
it's
how.
so boring.
Oh no!
It is because we knew each other in high school. That's like the most boring
Young
thing.
love.
Can we have a replacement question?
Ooh, pick me.
Erica's got the replacement.
Okay.
I have to know, and I think I know one of the answers to this, but did you ever find a pair of shorts that your thighs don't gobble?
I am actually currently wearing my top find, and I can make these gobble. Like if I do my pre-test and I'm like shoot like doing high knees and stuff like that. But in just normal walking, which is what I'm looking for. Like I don't run in anything but bike shorts. But they are the REI Swiftland running shorts, and they're super comfortable, lightweight, and you can walk all day in them.
Yay.
And judging from the comments, a lot of people bought them and are like, these are it. Also, Lululemon Track That mid-rise 5-inch. Those are
very nice.
And third is the Brooks Chaser 5-inch shorts, but in order of effectiveness.
Excellent.
Is what I listed them as.
I know.
Yeah.
I've seen you quite a few times. I got to do a shout out to one of our local businesses around here, but I believe you enjoy some Her Tribe Athletics shorts, the very cool rainbowy shorts.
Oh,
because Meg Staples, the owner,
yes.
is local to the New Hampshire area, and she's a very, very nice woman. So I had to give her a shout out.
Yeah, we should shout out Her Tribe Athletics. And I actually they were the camouflage print ones for, I wore them for the New York City Marathon. And can I just say, well, number one, they don't have that annoying thing around the bottom that bulges your skin.
I hate that.
Or I don't know how to say that.
It's like the sticky, like, that kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about? Or like elastic?
Yeah, like the elastic. It's like some shorts have that. It's like too tight at the bottom. Hers is perfect. It's the same amount of elastic as like the top and mid part of the shorts. Also the pockets. You can fit so much in those pockets and the fun print. So yeah, shout out to Her Tribe Athletics.
I had to. I was like, yeah, I know she's local. I don't know if she listens to this, but I was like, I got to give her a shout out. But...
No, I love them. Yes.
But since we're running low on time with you, we want to make sure we get you where you need to be. My final question. He says it's like one of the hardest, but if you're prepped for it, you're good. So we have a Spotify playlist, and we like to invite our guests to add a song to it. So it could be whatever you want, like whether you listen to music while you exercise or not. Just could be something that you like to sing to in the car that just makes you happy. Would you like to add a song?
Yeah. You know what? Yes. I don't know if this is going to be popular with everybody.
This is your song.
But Right. I have so many because I have a running playlist, and I would say that there's this one song. It's basically a bunch of like nostalgic, I would say early 2000s song that are mixed together, and it just like keeps going and going. So one of them, it's by Girl Talk, and it's called Bounce That.
Ooh.
And it just takes you on a whole ride. There's like Busta Rhymes in there.
Yes.
There's like yeah. So
sold.
That's what
you had me at 2000s, like even 90s. I would be like, all right, this is the jam.
Oh yeah.
I have this whole entire sheet of notes and talking points, and I cross everything off.
Do we hit it all?
There's one
What's
left.
Ooh.
There's one left, and it came from Tara. And I know nothing about it, so I don't know what I'm getting into here. But what are tree tunnel vibes?
Yeah. Okay. So when you mentioned the cheer squad, like the trees I say hi to, the tree tunnel is after the cheer squad. And it is what it sounds like. It's a tunnel of, formed by trees on either side. And when I would run through there, I don't know if it's because of all the shade. It feels like air conditioning, like nature's air conditioning or what. But,
is it that?
Wait, it's kind of not. Oh, yep, there it is. Now that looks like kind of the tree. The leaves aren't really filled in there. When it's like summer,
it's definitely fall.
Yeah, in summer it is like an actual canopy up there. But I would feel so good running through that tree tunnel. And I was like, the vibes in here are just immaculate. Like, I don't know why or what. It's beautiful. It's shady. And I was like, I'm just going to call these tree tunnel vibes. And so I would like grab the air. So I would grab some of the vibes. I would say tree tunnel vibes for me. And I would like chomp them. And then I would grab some more and say tree tunnel vibes for you. And I would like go like into the camera. So then you could grab them and have your own tree tunnel vibes.
Amazing.
That's great. Listen,
Erin,
this
you're
was
so
awesome.
cool.
This was
This is
so much
fun.
fun.
Good way to start my day.
Same here.
Add that
Yes,
to
this
the add that
this
to
is
the
our-
little advertisement.
This is our first ever
Morning interview.
podcast interview recording. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, it was a good one.
I kind of don't hate it
Yeah, I
either.
go-
I'm like fresh right now. I don't know. I woke up and I'm feeling good. And so we got this. And my day is I don't think my day could get better, but we'll see.
Erica does a 1 mile a day every day, run or walk, doesn't matter. And she's like, we typically record on Monday evenings, and she's like, I'm going to try to get my mile in before. But then she's like, oh, I'm all sticky. Maybe I'll do it
I
after.
am
and
fresh.
this
Like
is
I'm
great.
not sweaty for a change. This is awesome. So
awesome.
Go do your mile now before you go to work.
no,
Go
I'm
do your
gonna
mile. Be like,
actually
"Oh."
do a run after work. I'm feeling good, so I'm gonna do a real run. But we'll see.
All right, I was going to say, tell them podcast ran long, but really go do your mile.
Nah,
Get
I
it out of
gotta
the way.
work.
So-
I gotta go to work. But Erin, you are
Erin-
so cool. I mean, I can't wait to see. I know you're heading to Budapest soon, right? So I can't wait to.
Yeah, Tuesday.
I can't wait to check out those videos because I'm sure they will be plentiful and awesome. And
Yes.
just make sure that you give all those tree tunnel vibes to your athletes and make sure that they have a great time and a great event and enjoy yourself.
will.
That's going to be so cool.
Yes, and thank you guys so much for having me on.
Our
You know the
pleasure,
deal.
100%.
Don't hang up right away. All right, guys, that was a blast. Erin, thank you for responding to my DM when I slid in there and for sharing our post of when we were talking about you. You are freaking awesome.
Thank you guys.
Erin Azar, I am Mrs. Space Cadet on the On the Runs podcast.
Beep, beep, boop, boop, doo, doo.